Sacred Tree Kambo Practitioner training came about after a lot of exposure to Kambo, to other shamanic practices and medicines, and also exposure to healing practices through a deep study of energy and energetic, an immersion into Chinese medicine, and also an intuition that I had something to offer into this field, having witnessed other techniques and ways of offering Kambo. Some of the things that are really important to me are the idea of safety, the technology of change and sacred ceremony, and also to empower people to be able to really make their ceremonies their own, an extension of themselves. So this training that I do is split into two modules. The first module aims to give you all of the skills that you need to be able to offer Kambo one-to-one with people who don't have complex health or energetic makeups. And this really allows you to begin to get some experience from Kambo. One of the things that I've noticed in the Kambo practice is there can be such a wide range of reactions to Kambo that it can be quite confusing. And so we take out any complicated cases and we take out groups or anything more complicated so you can get a much better feel for it in the way in which you apply the Kambo. Sacred Tree technique is always layered. We tend to use 3 layers and you will get to know this particular way of working with the medicine. The reason we use these 3 layers is because it gives you a lot more adaptability, so that you can really change the trajectory of the intensity of the Kambo application, which means that you can take people deep enough but not too deep. So avoiding some of the more extreme reactions, some of which can take away from the healing process, in my opinion. So what we will be teaching you is everything that you would learn in any normal Kambo practitioner training, which would be the contraindications, how to assess, how to take clients on, how to assess their health, how to make sure that in the Hippocratic Oath, first do no harm, that you're not going to harm somebody in that process, and to be able to give them an optimum experience held safely and maximize the benefit that they're getting from the secretion. Also, the second part, which is relatively unique to this type of training, is the depth in which we offer an insight into the technology of sacred ceremony and all that surrounds it, to be able to help you to get participation in their own healing from the client, to be able to, as I would say, ripen the fruit. This metaphor I use that Kambo can shake the tree of all of the blockages, the stuck, trapped or blocked energy known as panema in the body, and that the ripe fruit will fall out of the tree. But part of what we do is to enable you to help ripen the fruit. And this is partly to do with dialogue and talking to people, connecting people to themselves, creating a sense of safety such that they can really feel safe enough to be able to meet and release that energy. And also in the process of sacred ceremony, which is the ancient technology of change, which creates all of this holistic way of allowing people to change, to come into themselves and coming back home unblocked to who they really are, which is the potential for this medicine. So there are a few things that we do differently. One of the things is the 3-layered approach for everybody, but also really listening to people's health and directing the medicine in a much more specific way so you can locate where the blockages are and take the medicine there and help people in this way. It's a very refined approach that develops mostly in the second module, once you've got a handle of the basics. And we look at this technology of sacred ceremony, how to make it your own, how to understand the energetics, your energetics, and how they contribute to and make a big difference to how the other person is able to receive the healing from Kambo, this beautiful and incredible unblocker. They're split about 6 months apart, these two modules, and the second module goes much more into this, not only an extra technology for you to help find locations of blockages and the technology of change, but much deeper into how to follow the path of understanding health and healing, this lifelong practice, and how to work with more than one person at a time. And this encapsulates the sacred tree training.